Greetings to all. Hope I am audible. Am I audible, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Greetings to all. Welcome to the data structures course. This is our first session. So in this session, we will cover up how we are going to conduct this course for this semester and introduction to the course, the syllabus. The first topic we will cover in today's session. Let me start record. Okay. The screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you very much. Okay. So this is our content for today's session. First, we will discuss about syllabus, then schedule for the entire course, then the assessment types. So what are the assessments we are going to conduct, and introduction to the data structure course. So this is our syllabus. I already shared the syllabus with you. So after this introduction class, again we will come to this syllabus again, and we will see what are the contents we are going to study in each and every unit. So this is our schedule for the semester. We have 4 hours per week, and this is our schedule. Tuesday we have 8 hours class, and Thursday 2nd hour, and Friday 5th hour, and Saturday is a 7th hour class. Okay, so timings given here, and approximately as per the management instruction, we have 12 weeks. So 12 weeks means we will have 48 hours approximately. So it includes mostly the assessments also. So 40 hours minimum we will get. So we have to try to complete the content, the syllabus within 40 hours. Okay. Now the assessments, how we are going to conduct the assessments. I think VCs are already instructed about this. All of you know about this. So internal exam will be conducted for 25 marks, and external exam is for 75 marks. About the type of external examination and everything will be communicated later. The internal exam, how it will be means, it will be the average of best 5 assessments. Means best 5 out of 8 assessments. About the each assessment type and each unit, how many assessments, the details will be shared with you within a week. So within before next week, we will communicate that with you. Okay, and it will be online only. So either MCQ or descriptive type of question. So based on that, you will get score for this 25 marks. So this is what the assessment details. Okay. Now let us start with the introduction to the course, introduction to data structures. Why we need data structures, and what is the purpose of this data structures course? Let us take this example. Here we have 3 variables, A, B, and C. Each of these variables are independent variables. It means A is not dependent on B and B is not dependent on C. Each is a different variable. What are the operations we can perform over these variables means? We can perform addition operation. We can add A and B and store it in C. We can perform subtraction operation, A minus B. We can perform multiplication operation like this. These are all the possible operations we can perform over these variables. So in computer memory, A will be stored in one location, B will be in another location, and C will be in another location. We will take the value of A and B, and we can perform any of these operations, and we can store the result in the C. So this is a simple operations. No issues regarding this independent variables and its values. Let us take collection of values. Okay, here we have age data of 10 people, 45, 30, 20, 22. I have different values. Now in this, how to store the value means how to store the values in the memory. It is not possible. It is very difficult to store each of these values in different variable names. Means a equal to 45, b equal to 30, c equal to 20, d equal to 22. Like this, if we are trying to store means it is difficult to process the data because all these data belongs to one category, age. So in age, what are all the possible operations we will perform means we can try to find the maximum aged person or minimum aged person or average of all the ages. These are all the possible operations we can perform in this group of data. If you are trying to store this in a different variable, then it is difficult to perform these kind of operations, performing the average or finding the minimum maximum. Everything will be difficult. So to avoid that, what we can do means we can store all these value in a array. We already know about the concept, array concept, so we can store it in array. It is easy for processing also. So whenever we have a collection of data, in collection of data, mostly what are the operations we will perform means searching operation or traversing the entire collection, or performing the sorting operation, finding the maximum minimum, or adding a new value into the array, or removing an element from the array, or updating a value in the array. So these are all the basic operations we will perform whenever we have collection of data. So here I said age of 10 people. Instead of this, you can have marks, set of marks. So in set of marks, what we can do? We can find the maximum mark, minimum mark, average of marks. If you take set of students, what are the possible operations we can perform? Find the maximum mark student, or find the students who are all coming from Trichy, or find the students who are all coming from Tanjavur. So like this, whenever we have collection of data, these are all the possible operations we will perform in any collection of data. Here only, if you take the array concept, in array concept, we have its own advantages and disadvantages. Array also having its own advantage and disadvantage. So array is one type of data structure. In array, it is easy to process the elements stored in an array by using the index value a of 0, a of 1. We can easily access the array and we can easily traverse the array. But what is the difficulty in array means, if you want to store an array element into an array, suppose if I want to store an element in the 5th position, first we have to make the 5th position as free that position. So we have to move the elements one cell apart towards the end. We have to move it and we have to free the space. Then only it's possible to insert a value. The same way, if you want to remove an element from an array, that is also difficult. Again, we need to perform the moving operations. So this is what disadvantage of an array. The same way, array size cannot be increased or decreased dynamically. Using the dynamic memory allocation concept, if you we can get the number of elements and we can create the array. After that, again, beyond the size, if you want to insert a value means, again, we need to resize the array using dynamic memory allocation concept. So dynamically, for each element, increasing or decreasing array is difficult. Like array, we have n number of other data structures. Like array, we have n number of other data structures. So what in this course we are going to learn means, what are all the different such kind of data structures available, and what is the advantage and disadvantage of each of the data structures, and what is the algorithm for these operations. If you have array, in array, for inserting an element, what is algorithm? For searching, what is algorithm? For sorting, what is algorithm? For removing an element, what is algorithm? For updating a value, what is algorithm? The same way, take other data structure. In the data structure, for adding an element, what is algorithm? For updating a value, what is algorithm? So this is what we are going to learn in this entire course. Okay, so what is a data structure now? A data structure is a particular way of organizing data in computer so that it can be used efficiently. Mostly a data structure means it will have storage to store the data and set of rules for storing and organizing the data. So as per the rules only, it is possible to store the data into the data structure and access the data from the data structure. So this is what a data structure. Okay, normally basically we have data structure, two types of data structure. One is a linear and non-linear. Linear means the elements will be stored in sequentially and we will access the elements sequentially. Non-linear means elements will be stored randomly and will use the accessing of elements also will not be in sequence. Now let us come to the syllabus. Okay, so I already told you that we are going to study algorithm for each of the data structure and all the operations. So in our syllabus, first unit, we are going to study about how to write an algorithm. What is an algorithm? Algorithm means a step-by-step solution to a problem. Okay, finite set of steps to solve any problem is called as an algorithm. You can express an algorithm using a flowchart or pseudocode. Okay, pseudocode is a one type of way of expressing or writing an algorithm. So in first unit, we are going to study about what is a pseudocode and how to write pseudocode, how to write algorithm using pseudocode. After that, we are going to study about ADT, abstract data type. So abstract data type means in C++, you might have studied about a template classes. Okay, so like that means a class which accepts any type of data or a function which accepts any type of data. So such kind of data structures, how to create data structure using ADT model. That is what we are going to study, ADT, abstract data type. Then recursive functions. Okay, after that we are going to study about searching and sorting functions. Okay, searching, so array searching, array sorting, then hashed search, what is a hashing, and hashing techniques that we will study. Then in sorting, only two techniques we are going to study, bubble sort and selection sort, because CSE IT students, you have algorithm paper separately. In that algorithm, you will study the further sorting techniques and searching techniques. Here we are going to study simply two searching techniques, sequential and binary, and two sorting techniques, bubble and selection sort. And the we are going to see some few implementations using whatever we are studying in the first unit. Its applications we are going to study, Towers of Hanoi and prefix to post conversion, using the recursion, GCD factorial using recursion. This is what the contents of a first unit. The next is a second unit. In second unit, general linear list. So we already discussed about what is an array and what are the advantage and disadvantage of array. So instead of array, we can create a linear list. Dynamically, we can create a linear list. And in the list, how to insert an element, delete an element, updating an element, everything we will study in second unit. And then we will implement a stack and queue using general linear list and applications of a stack and queue. So this is what the second unit. And the third unit, nonlinear list. Here we will study about tree data structure. So how to store data into the tree, how to traverse a tree traversals, and applications of these concept. Binary search tree, after tree, binary search tree concepts, then AVL tree concepts, how to store data into these trees, how to access the data from the tree, updating values in the tree, and each of these algorithms we are going to study in the third unit. And finally, fourth unit, we have heap structure. Okay, heap structure, again this is also non-linear. Heap, multivariate trees, B tree implementation, and then trie structure. And finally, we have graph. Graph is also one type of a data structure. In graph, graph traversals are very important. Okay, so elementary operations, adding a value and traversing a graph. Traversing a graph is a very important concept. And BFT, breadth first traversal and depth first traversal, the traversal algorithm, that is very important. Then applications of a graph, that is a minimum spanning tree, Prim's and Kruskal's algorithm, finding the minimum spanning tree using Prim's and Kruskal's algorithm. So that is one important problem from the last unit. So as I already told you, in array, how to insert an element, update an element, traversing array. The same way, stack, how to insert value into the stack, how to remove value from the stack. Queue, how to insert value into the queue, how to remove value from the queue, and a traversing queue. Tree, inserting, traversing. Binary search tree, inserting, traversing. Then heap, again inserting, traversing. And graph, traversing the graph. So these are all the data structures we are going to study in this course, and each of these data structure, the operations, whatever the operations we mentioned, for that operation we are going to study the algorithms. So this is the introduction to this course. Now, from this introduction to the course, if you have any doubt, you can post it in the chat window. Any doubts so far? Fine. Okay, thank you. Now, let us continue the presentation. Now, algorithms. So, since we are going to write algorithm for all the operations that we are going to perform using a data structure, we need to write, we are going to implement the operations using algorithm. So algorithm is not written using a specific language. So we are not going to write algorithm in C or C++ or Java. Algorithm means it is a general. So once the algorithm is written, the algorithm can be converted into any programming language. By seeing the algorithm, you can write the code in C or C++ or Java. So algorithm is simple steps. Okay, algorithm is a finite set of steps to solve problem using computer. Okay, and you can express the algorithm using a flowchart or pseudocode. What is a flowchart? It is a pictorial representation. So instead of writing it in English words, we will draw some symbols. So by seeing the symbols, a coder can easily convert that code, the picture into a code. Okay, so how to start the program, loopings, so everything they can easily convert it into a program. If you take pseudocode, so what is a pseudocode? So this is what we are going to write. We are going to write all our algorithms using pseudocode in this course. So what is a pseudocode? Pseudocode is an English-like representation of an algorithm logic. It is part English and part structured code. So it is not like one person's algorithm is correct and another person's algorithm is wrong. Okay. Why means for a same problem, we can have more than one solution. Each solution will have its own algorithm. What is the logic implemented in that algorithm? That is what important. Some persons can write begin, some persons can write start. Both are correct. Some persons can write if, the parenthesis and the condition, and some persons can write it directly if age is less than 10. Or some persons can write if age less than operator 10. Both are correct. Okay, it is an English-like representation. You can write it in using basic English. And part of structured code. What is part of structured code means? Here you can use programming constructs, some simple plus operators, module operators, or some assignment operators. So such kind of structured code, you can use it. A part English and a part structured code. Okay, the English part provides a relaxed syntax that describes what must be done without showing unnecessary details. Okay, so here we will not concentrate more on the error messages to be displayed or all the error possible operations, that we will not write it in the algorithm. The same way, the code part consists of extended version of a basic algorithmic constructs. Okay, means the sequence, selection, and iterations. Sequence of statements, selection statements, that is if statements, iterations, loop. Okay, if you take C, in C we have totally three types of loops. Okay, for loop, while loop, do while loop. Okay, in when you are writing algorithm, you will write simply it as a loop and end. That's it. It is up to the programmer's wish to use the he can choose the type of looping statement or iteration statement as per his wish. Okay, in when you're writing algorithm, no need to write it as a for loop, or no need to write it as a while loop, or no need to write it as a do while loop. Simply we can specify loop, and within the loop, whatever the statements we need to write, that we can write, and end loop. That's it. Okay. Example. Okay, so when you're here in algorithms, no need to declare the data also. Directly we can declare, means use the variables with some values. So as per the value, the type of that variable will be easily understand, means the programmer, the coder will assign the data type for that particular variable. Example, see here I have given set count equal to 0. It means that 0 is integer type, so count is count will be easily understandable as a integer type. This is for independent variables. Suppose if you want to create a composite type or structured data, we need to create a node data link in node, a structure kind of things. In C, you might have studied about a structure. So this is equal to that structure. This is how we have to represent data in algorithms. Okay, now let us take this sample algorithm. Okay, algorithm sample, page number. Okay, the header part, then the algorithmic part, and then end of the algorithm. Here we have used some pre-post written. What are all these things? Okay, these are called as a components of an algorithm. Whenever you are writing an algorithm, these components, in all the algorithms, we need to include these components. The next part contains the components of an algorithm. See here, components of an algorithm. Whenever we are writing an algorithm, that algorithm must include these components. First is algorithm header. Algorithm header includes the name of the algorithm and the purpose, condition, return value, all these things. Next, statement number. The algorithm statements, it should have some number. Then only it's possible to identify or identify error, or it's possible to move from one statement to another statement. So that is possible in the using the statement numbers. Then variables, how to use the variables. Then statement constructs, what are the different statement constructs available. And finally, algorithm analysis. So these are all the components of an algorithm. Now we will go to the sample algorithm and we will discuss about each of these things. Here, the first is the algorithm header. See here, we have algorithm sample. So we have to write algorithm and sample. Here it is given as a sample. So we need to give some meaningful, we have to give some meaningful name to the algorithm. Suppose if it is a finding average, it is a finding average of marks, find average marks, or sum marks, sum of marks, like that. Some meaningful names, some meaningful names we need to give to the algorithm. After that algorithm, the parenthesis, within parenthesis, we can give some parameter names. What are all the parameters to the algorithm? Parameters here, what are the input value to the algorithm and what are the return values from the algorithm. Everything we can specify as a parameter. okay, input parameter and also output parameter. We are assuming that these algorithms are call by reference. So the algorithm can return more than one value also using the output parameters. Okay, here sample is the algorithm name and the page number is the parameter that is input to the algorithm. So this is what the header. After that, the description of the algorithm. What is the purpose of that algorithm that we need to write? Next, conditions. Okay, purpose, condition, and return. The purpose about the what is the purpose of that algorithm that we need to write. After that, the conditions, precondition, postcondition. What is precondition means? Before execution of the algorithm, what are the parameter input parameter values and what is the condition for that values that we need to write? Page number passed by reference. So this is the condition. And you can specify page number is greater than 0 or page number is within this range. That is also you can mention in the precondition. Post condition means after execution of the algorithm, what will be the output? What it will return using the output parameter? What it will return using the output parameter? Or what it will print? Such kind of things you can mention it in the post condition. And finally, return value. Using the specific return statement, whether we are returning anything true or false. Okay, here we are returning number of lines printed. Okay, so what is the return value of that algorithm? That we need to specify it in the return number. Okay, this is what the header part. The algorithm name, the parameters, and each parameter's value in the precondition, postcondition, and finally return values. Now the third one is the statement numbers. If you are checking it in the statement in the sample algorithm, we have given 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Like this, for each statement we have given numbers. This is one type of numbering. Instead of this, you can follow subnumbering also. Okay, first loop started with 1, then reading file 1.1, 2.1, and within if condition, sorry, 1.1, 1.2, and within the if condition 1.2.1, 1.2.2, like that. Subnumbering concept also you can use. Okay, whatever comfortable that you can use it, but algorithm each statement should have its own numbers. That is important. Next, variables. This is very important. Naming the variable. Whenever we are giving name to the variable, it should have proper meaning. Okay, please avoid using single variable, single character variable names, A, B. Such kind of variable names should not be used in algorithms. The same way, the general names also try to avoid it. General names means simply giving it as a count or sum or total. These are some of the general names. Count of what? Okay, sum of what? Sum of marks. Okay, count of articles. Okay, count of products. Like that, it should have proper meaning. Okay, please try to avoid general names. Okay, abbreviations you can use. Instead of a number of students, you can give num of stu. That is possible, that you can use it. But that also, when you are creating abbreviations, please ensure that the meaning of that particular variable name is not confusing. For number of students, if you give NOSTU, easily we can read it as a no student instead of reading it as a number of student. So you can use abbreviations, proper meaningful abbreviations, and proper meaningful variable names. This is very important. Okay, so in algorithms, whenever we are using variable names, please try to avoid single letter variable names. We need to avoid, and we should give proper meaningful variable names. That is important. And the next one is a statement constructor. Whatever the programs, whatever the algorithms we are going to write, the algorithm will have any one of combination of these three constructs only. The first construct is a sequence, the second one is a selection, and the third one is a loop. What is sequence means? One or more statements which will not alter the sequence of the program, which will not alter the sequence, the flow of the program. And so those statements are called as a sequence statements or sequence construct. Sequence statement or sequence construct. Okay, so if you give a equal to 10 or b equal to 10 plus 20 or some assignment statement. Okay, so these statements are coming under sequence construct. Even a function call will be treated as a sequence only. Why means when the particular function call is executed, it will go to the respective function, completes its execution, and starts executing the next statement. So it is not altering the flow of the program. So even function call will be treated as a sequence construct only. The second type of construct is a selection statement. There is a if condition. Okay, if condition or switch statement, if nested if statements, else if statements, everything will be considered as a selection statement. And finally, loop statements, iterative statements. So iterative statements means if you want to perform a specific task repeatedly, okay, the repetitive block of code can be put within the loop statements or iterative statements. So whenever you are writing algorithm, the algorithm will have only these three type of constructs. Okay, and its general formats we need to use it. And finally, algorithm analysis. We are not going to discuss in detail about algorithm analysis, but you should know what is the purpose of this algorithm analysis. Okay, as I already told you, we can perform there will be more than one solution to a problem. Each solution we can write the separate algorithms. Okay, among all the algorithms, which is efficient? If the algorithm takes more time, then it is not a good algorithm. If the algorithm takes more memory, then also it is not good algorithm. So you have to compare all the solutions, all the algorithms based on this time and then space. This is called as a time complexity and space complexity. Based on this, you have to select best algorithm, and only that algorithm must be converted into a code. So that is what algorithm analysis part. So in algorithm analysis, that particular algorithm, how much time it will take. Based on the notation, respective notation, we need to specify it. So whenever you are writing an algorithm, we need to include all these in the algorithm. The algorithm analysis part is optional. Okay, it is not mandatory, it is optional. So everything else we need to write it in the algorithm. As I already told, the algorithm is not written in not in any specific language. So don't write C code. If the question is like write an algorithm for the stack operations, then write only the algorithm. Don't write C code or CPP code or Java code. Don't do it. Only the algorithm you need to write. That is sufficient. So this is what the introduction course. If you have any doubt so far, you can ask it in the chat window. Any doubts so far? Okay, thank you. Purpose and condition. Sir, can you once again explain purpose and condition? Okay, so see here in this algorithm, the second line, it is the purpose of the algorithm. Okay, so what is the objective of that algorithm? The objective we need to write it here. What is the use of the algorithm? The algorithm reads a file and prints a report. So this is suppose if you want to find the average marks, then this algorithm is used to find the average marks. Suppose if you are trying to search a particular student from a array, then this algorithm used to search the given student number in the array of student details. So like that we need to write the purpose of the algorithm. So that is what purpose. But what is precondition? Okay, what are the input, what are the parameter you are sending to the algorithm. Suppose if it is a searching a student. So for searching a student, what are the parameters we will say? We will pass one array of student. Second one is the student number. Okay, which student, whether the student number to be searched within the array, that we need to pass. So these are all the two students. So what is the precondition? The array means student array list is passed as a parameter and it is a not null. Okay, and student number is passed as a parameter and it is also not null. Post condition in this algorithm we are not returning using the parameter. So post condition you can give it as a nil. Return what we are going to return. If the student is found, return true. If the student not found, return false. So this is one way. The other way is you can pass three student details, three parameters. The first one is array, the second one is a integer, the number student to be searched, roll number, and the third one is a student object itself. So if the student found in the third parameter student, you can store the details of the searched student. Okay, otherwise you can store null in the student object. So what is post condition? If the student found, the student object will have value, otherwise null will be stored. So this is what precondition and post condition. Suppose if you are going to use output parameter, okay, we will pass input parameter and output parameter also for some algorithms. Suppose if you are going to use the output parameter, then only post condition we need to write. Otherwise, no need to write the post condition. Suppose if your algorithm means if your algorithm not at all having any input parameter or output parameter, then precondition also nil and post condition also nil. But mostly try to avoid writing such kind of algorithm. So whenever we are writing an algorithm, the algorithm will have some input and some output. Okay. So input you need to specify it using the parameters using precondition, and output you can use either post or return or both. So this is what pre-post conditions. Okay, in which language we are going to use data structure, either C++ or Java. Okay, so here it is not fixed. Okay, up to your convenience. So whatever the demonstration I am going to show, I'll show it in C language. You can use CPP also or Java also. But the thing is, the conditions, the data structure must be implemented properly, and its conditions must be checked properly. So stack means stack you can implement using C also, C++ also, Java also. It's up to your convenience. No one is going to reduce mark for that. Any other doubts? Yes, you can use it. If else if all statements you can use it in the pseudo codes. No issues. If else if you can use it. Using Python, you can use Python, but better to do using C or CPP. Java also you are studying in this semester, so no issues, but try to practice it using C, CPP or Java. Comparatively, C or C++ is good. If you have any other doubts, you can post it. Okay, thank you. In next class, we will discuss about ADT, abstract data type. Okay, suppose if the content is heavy means the required materials I'll post it in the classroom prior to the class. Before coming to the class, please go through it. So today's class is over. Thank you very much.